Hello everyone, Blackfoot Ferret here. I got a lot of comments and questions on a recent video, Ennard is in FNAF 1, so I made this follow-up video to answer them. First, can I prove that the two swinging threads in the right vent in FNAF 2 are actually living metal cables, and not cobwebs or shoelaces blowing in the wind? Yes, I can. We've seen real cobwebs in FNAF 1. The vent threads are much thicker and stronger than that. Huge robots squeeze through that vent all the time without damaging the threads at all. What about shoelaces blowing in the wind? This doesn't work because there is no wind moving through those vents. Real vents snake all through a building using a fan-powered network to spread heating and cooling to every room. But the FNAF 2 vents only connect the office to the two closest party rooms, neglecting the rest of the building. If their real purpose was the actual circulation of air, they're very bad at it. Mangle's radio shows we have an audio feed from the right vent camera, but where is the sound of rushing air? All we hear is the fan already in front of us on the desk and the smallest amount of electronic noise. We never see or hear another fan in these vents. What we do get is a set of tunnels so large that even the towering withered animatronics can squeeze through them, and a camera to watch them do it. If our cameraman was worried about robots and vents, why not make the vents small? Unless these tunnels were designed for robot access. Whoever made the restaurant knew robots would be using these vents and didn't have a problem with it. FNAF 2's fake vents and lack of a kitchen echo FNAF 1's artificially limited power and life-saving doors that somehow require energy to stay closed. FNAF 1's heavy blast doors were designed to stop robots the architect knew would attack. Both of these restaurants are death traps. The design choices used to make Freddy's were either stupid or sinister. And with mad science running in the family, the Aftons are far from stupid. So the threads in the right vent are swaying even though there is no wind, and were already swaying even before any animatronic bumped into them. By applying Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's maxim that, whenever you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth, we are forced to make an incredible conclusion, that these swaying threads are moving under their own power. Dead shoelaces could never do this, but living metal cables can. These swaying cables are just like all the other creepy metal cables spreading through Freddy's, living pieces of Ennard. Scott created two painstakingly crafted animations in Sister Location of Ennard doing nothing but swaying in an almost imperceptible manner, a production quality usually reserved for FNAF's signature jump scares. While it might seem like a minor detail to us, it must have been a huge detail to Scott. These living cables are a link between the original FNAF universe and Sister Location. FNAF isn't about murders. FNAF isn't about pizza. FNAF is about how the Afton family tried to achieve immortality by putting their souls into living metal robots, and how their dream turned into a nightmare. The next question is, why do I call Ennard a girl? Because she is what remains of the inventor's daughter.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her?
Baby only made ice cream for one person, the single girl left in the room on the one day that Circus Baby's Pizza World was open. We later learned that this girl was Mr. Afton's own daughter.
You let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go?
This girl, who I'm going to call Charlie after her equivalent character from the novels, said that her father made Baby just for her.
Didn't you make her just for me?
And she felt irresistibly drawn to Baby despite Mr. Afton's strange demand that she never go see the robot he himself made for her. It turns out that Baby was altered from her original design. While being grilled by corporate executives at the start of Sister Location, an uncooperative Mr. Afton evasively mentions all of Baby's secondary functions instead of talking about her real power. The ability to absorb part of the soul of whoever wears her, safeguarding it to act as a Horcrux for that person, a backup copy to live on after that person died. Baby was designed to be the Horcrux for his own daughter, a gift to keep her safe. But the baby that arrived on the opening of Circus Baby's Pizza World was not the baby that Mr. Afton designed. Mr. Afton, who I'm going to call William after his own corresponding character from FNAF 1 through 4, says he gave Baby a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons. However, this tank does not appear on the Afton Robotics blueprint for Baby.
She can make balloons. Have you seen her make balloons?
Even though we can see the hose that once connected this helium tank is still there in Baby's arm. The large company that bought out Mr. Afton's family business had darker plans for his technology, and retooled his robots to harvest souls rather than protect them, starting with the very one William made for his daughter.
Daddy isn't watching.
So William forbid Charlie to go see her own robot, knowing what it was now designed for, and what would happen if she did.
Where did the other children go?
But Charlie was headstrong, and snuck away when William wasn't looking, and you know the rest. After Baby was scooped, the good part of Charlie's soul remained in Baby, while the extracted pieces of her living metal were built into the other animatronics. And Ennard, who seemed to embody the dark part of her.
I'm still here.
Ennard then set about to devour the other robots, and eventually Baby herself.
Isn't this why you came here? To be with me again?
A major theory of mine is that the first victim in Take Cake in FNAF 1 through 4 is actually Charlie, and the split pieces of her soul went on to form both the good puppet and the evil Shadow Freddy.
You have to let me inside the room.
Her father Henry's silver knife extracted part of her soul, which he built into an android, the same android that later died again after being crushed inside Fredbear to become Shadow Freddy. While her grandfather William, the true founder of Freddy's, saved what remained of Charlie by building the puppet.
I know it was an accident.
Sister Location is an alternate universe retelling of this story, with Baby playing the role of the puppet and Ennard playing the role of Shadow Freddy. I made the case in the video Purple Guy is a Robot that novel Charlie has been a robot since she was 3. We are seeing 3 different versions of this very important little girl in 3 different parallel universes. Yes, I know I have a ton of work to do to forge the evidence chain to support this ultimate theory. For now, let's just focus on the living metal because it's the stuff that literally holds FNAF together. FNAF is beautiful because it's like a vast array of dominoes, a Rube Goldberg masterpiece where every fragment leads to another discovery. A whole gymnasium full of colorful events, horrifying twists, and discoveries that force us to change our very perception of reality. But this is also the weakness of FNAF, because if any domino is removed from the array, progress grinds to a halt. Every link in the chain depends upon solving the link in front of it. This is why I double down on details like there being more than one villain, more than 2 spring suits, and that multiple spring lock failures must mean that several people died at once rather than several locks failing on a single suit. These are all dominoes in the array, and without understanding them, it's impossible to make progress on FNAF. It doesn't matter if these conclusions of mine are popular or not. I believe I've uncovered part of the truth about one of the greatest mysteries in gaming history, and I'm going to follow my theories as far as they'll go, changing them whenever I have to with any discoveries that pop up along the way. That's my update for today, folks. Thank you for watching.